What if you woke up tomorrow and could hear everything everyone was thinking? I'm not talking about some sci-fi movie. I mean you, me, your boss, your partner, everyone on the planet suddenly becoming a telepath. What would that first day, the day after, actually be like? Let's dive into it. The first few minutes would be chaos. Imagine the noise. Not from cars or birds, but from the unfiltered thoughts of billions of people. Your own mind, once a private sanctuary, is now a public square, and you're hearing the mental chatter of your family in the next room. Ugh, did they finish the coffee again? I really hope they don't ask me about that email. It would be overwhelming, a tsunami of consciousness. People would probably curl up in a ball, hands over their ears, trying to block out a sound that isn't sound at all. After the initial shock, the second wave hits. Brutal, unfiltered honesty. You walk into the kitchen, and you don't just hear your partner say good morning, you hear, good morning. Wow, your hair is a mess, and I'm still a little annoyed about what you said last night, but I love you anyway, so I'll be nice. Ouch, the little white lies we tell to keep social harmony. Gone the polite smile to a coworker, now accompanied by a mental broadcast of, I cannot stand the sound of their typing. Think about your morning commute, the bus or train, usually a place of silent strangers, is now a roaring cacophony of anxieties, to-do lists, secret crushes, and deep-seated resentments. You'd know the person next to you is terrified of their presentation. The one across from them is daydreaming about quitting their job to open a bakery, and the person by the door is silently judging everyone's shoes. It would be impossible to feel anonymous ever again. Privacy, as we know it, would be dead. So, how do we function? How does society not completely collapse? This is where things get interesting. After the initial pain of raw truth, a strange kind of adaptation might begin. We'd have to learn a new skill, mental filtering. Just like we learn to tune out background noise in a busy cafe, we'd have to learn to tune out the endless stream of thoughts. It would be a new form of mental discipline, maybe the most important skill for survival. Workplaces would be transformed overnight. That big meeting, everyone knows who actually did the work, who is just trying to look busy, and what the boss really thinks of the new proposal. Negotiations would be pointless. Our final offer is 1 million. I can hear you thinking you're authorized to go up to 2 million. Corporate bluffing, gone. Job interviews, a two-way street of pure honesty. Why do you want this job? Honestly, for the money and the health insurance. And I can hear you thinking my resume looks a little weak. But your desperate relationships would face the ultimate test. The small, unspoken annoyances could either be addressed and resolved, or they could fester and break couples apart. But on the flip side, you'd also feel the depth of love and affection in a way you never could before. You wouldn't just hear I love you, you would feel the sincere, profound emotion behind it. It could lead to a new level of intimacy and connection we can't even imagine. No more guessing, no more doubt. Just pure, unshielded connection. And what about society at large? Crime would plummet. How can you plan a robbery when every potential witness, every police officer, can hear your entire plan? Deception-based crimes would be nearly impossible. Politics would be unrecognizable. A politician's speech would be accompanied by a real-time broadcast of their true intentions, their private deals, their genuine beliefs. Would we even need elections in the same way? Perhaps we'd just know who the best person for the job is based on their thoughts and character. But it's not all a utopia of honesty. The dark side is profound. People with antisocial thoughts, prejudices, or violent intentions would be exposed. How does a society handle that? Do we preemptively punish people for their thoughts? It's a terrifying ethical minefield. And what about mental health? People battling depression, anxiety, or intrusive thoughts would have their struggles laid bare for all to see. It could lead to immense stigma, or, hopefully, to a wave of radical empathy and understanding. We would literally feel their pain, and maybe, just maybe, be moved to help. In this new world, silence would become the most valuable commodity. People would seek out remote, isolated places, not just for peace and quiet, but for mental solitude. Meditation wouldn't just be for wellness, it would be a fundamental tool for sanity, a way to quiet your own mind so it's not broadcasting to everyone around you. The economy would shift. Industries based on information asymmetry like certain parts of finance, law, and marketing would be appended. Advertising would have to become brutally honest. You don't really need this new phone, but we've designed it to make you feel inadequate without it. Would anyone buy anything? Maybe we'd only buy things we genuinely need or want, which could reshape consumerism entirely. Art and creativity might flourish. A musician could compose a symphony and let you experience it exactly as they hear it in their head. A painter could show you not just an image, but the feeling and inspiration behind every brushstroke. Storytelling would become a fully immersive experience. You wouldn't just read about a character's fear, you would feel it as your own. So, the day after everyone can read minds would be a day of chaos, pain, and devastating honesty. But it might also be the day humanity is forced to evolve. We'd have to confront our ugliest truths and our deepest connections. We'd have to learn radical empathy and a new form of self-control. Society would either crumble under the weight of total transparency or be rebuilt into something more honest, more connected, and ultimately, more human. The question is, which path would we choose? What do you think? Would it be a nightmare or the beginning of a better world? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoy exploring big what-if questions like this, make sure to subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one.